For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Cashing Out on VSiN, the sports betting network.
All right, it's time for a new hour of Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo, and this could be a very profitable segment for us, folks. Bottom of the eighth in San Diego, Jackson Merrill has led it off with a stand-up leadoff triple, 90 feet away from cashing in our Padres team total over 4.5 plus money. The San Francisco Giants at Oracle Park are down to their final out, 1 out away from cashing in Arizona money line. Not going to happen this segment, but the Oilers up 3-0 with 11 minutes to go. 11 minutes away from cashing out our Oilers ticket money line against the Knights. And a deep fly ball to center field is going to bring home Jackson Merrill. And there is your San Diego Padres team total over 4.5 plus $1.10. We hit Tyler Mahle under 1.5 earned runs plus $1.20 earlier in the day. If this ball is caught by Arizona, it's not. Foul ball. That would have been a 3-0 day in baseball right there. We are now 1 strike away from a 3-0 day on the diamond. What a day it's been. We are going to go 2-0 on the ice, 3-0 on the diamond. Our one loser, Josh Hart, over 11.5 points. I don't even care because my Knicks won the game. And we have Minnesota laying 4 and a hook. They were down 2 at the half. They are now up 6 halfway through the third quarter, 74-68. The Timberwolves with a commanding run here, 16-8 to start the third quarter. This is about as good as a Monday gets, ladies and gentlemen. We are enjoying a Monday here. Is that strike 3 or is that a foul ball? Foul ball, San Francisco. So still 1 strike away. Shelby Miller on the bump for Arizona. 2-1. What a sweat that would be. By the way, there is another baseball game going on right now. The New York Yankees are absolutely laying one on the Seattle Mariners. 8-3. Yankees lead it. Bottom of the 8th, Mariners up. But Austin Wells, who had the 3-run homer in the 6-run 5th inning to make it 7-2, hit another sac fly in the 7th. Mariners answered with 1. Clark Schmidt was great, 6 innings, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts. Emerson Hancock, not great, 5 innings, 7 earned for Seattle in what will likely be a loss. San Fran still down to their last strike, and there it is on the changeup from Shelby Miller, Arizona money line. 3-0 day on the diamond, ladies and gentlemen. In less than 10 minutes of game action, we'll be 2-0 on the ice, and we'll see if Minnesota can get us 1-1 as Ant-Man pulls up, splash, top of the key 3. Anthony Edwards, 77-68, Minnesota living in the Bay Area. 19-8 here in the second half, third quarter, second half. T-Wolves coming out with a vengeance out of the locker room here. Love it. This is as good of a sports night on a Monday as you can ask for. All started, of course, with my New York Knicks taking it to the Boston Celtics at home, defending home court. Another comeback win. You know, I feel like no one's talking or tomorrow morning going to be talking about the comeback by New York because it wasn't a 20-point comeback like games 1 and 2. But this was still a ferocious comeback win by the Knicks. They were down, 14, 16 points in the third quarter. Jalen Brunson going shot for shot with Jason Tatum. The Knicks outscored Boston in the third by 14. They were down 11 at the half. Early in the third quarter, Boston came out and expanded that lead. And the Knicks just went on a ridiculous run to close things out. Where was it? 72-58. The Celtics expanded that 11-point lead to with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. So that means that the rest of the game, The Knicks outscored them 63-41. Knicks went plus 22 in the final 21 minutes of action, 63-41. Just a sensational finish by the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson coming out like a man possessed in the second half. 18 points in the third quarter. He finishes with 39, 12 dimes. Karl Anthony Towns, a double-double, 23 and 11. By the way, I thought Towns was getting terrible treatment from the officials in the first half. And I saw some Celtics fans on Twitter at the end of the game, oh, the refs are handing it to the Knicks. I'm sorry, did the Celtics not shoot more than double the amount of free throw attempts that the Knicks did? Cry me a river. You want to talk about the refs. Karl Anthony Towns getting pushed out of bounds and getting called for being out of bounds. No fouls getting called on his. I mean, I thought he got terrible treatment from the officials in the first half of that one. So the Knicks, I thought, had to overcome that, which they did, because this team is as tough as any. And what a comeback it was. 4 of their 5 starters, 20-plus points. Towns, 23. Bridges, 23. 7 boards for Bridges, by the way. 4 steals. Guy was defensively a lunatic, out of his mind on the defensive side of the ball. Anunoby, too. Sensational. 4 of 8 from beyond the arc, 20 points. Exclamation point dunk at the end. I mean, some key minutes from Deuce McBride in the second quarter to give these starters a break. Mitchell Robinson, 8 boards, 25 minutes off the bench. Knicks had the Twin Towers working. Opposite Boston, who got nothing from their bigs, Horford and Porzingis, combined 12 points, 9 boards. Mitch and Karl Anthony Towns combined 27 points, 19 boards for those 2 bigs. Just a great second half effort by the Knicks. They go plus 19 in the second half, plus 22 in the final 21 minutes when they were down by as many as 14. Just a massive night for the Knicks as they open up a 3-1 lead over the Celtics. We'll await Jason Tatum's MRI results, and obviously that story at the end, tragic. And Tatum, for as much as I want to sit here and praise Brunson and Cat and Bridges and everyone, Jason Tatum turned in an incredible performance. 42 points, one of the best games of his postseason career. And to see it end the way it did, looking like that calf popped, is absolutely awful. We'll await the MRI results. We'll see what the verdict is, but I hope Tatum is good to go. It doesn't look promising, but I really hope it was just a fluky thing and he's back, and, you know, that the Knicks can beat the Celtics at full strength the rest of the way. Because even when you hate a team as much as Knicks fans and Celtics fans hate the opposing team, you never root for something like that. Folks, in just a few days, you can bet the Preakness Stakes with First Bet and get rewarded. New customers, use the promo code VSiN200 and score a 20% rebate on all wagers first 60 days up to $200. That's win or lose, you get paid back. Download the First Bet app or visit first.com/bet. Use promo code VSiN200 to get started today. That's st.com/bet, promo code VSiN200. The Minnesota Timberwolves have absolutely opened this one up against Golden State. And look, it's the NBA. It ain't over yet. We're inside 5 minutes to go, quarter number 3. But this third quarter has been as lopsided, as one-sided as it could possibly be. Minnesota's outscoring them 22-8 here in the third quarter. It's 80-68. We laid 4.5 with the Wolves. Called it the red light bet on the way into work. Not while driving, at a red light. Jimmy Butler's got 9, but he healed 11. He's 2 of 5 from 3. Hield has not made a 3 here in the second half. Golden State only 8 points. Here's Minnesota from 3. Dante D from 3. It's good. 83-68 Wolves. Oh, baby. 15-point lead. Minnesota, get me a cover. Padres Angels 5-3. 1 out, top 9. Suarez in to close out the Angels. So if you had Padres run line, that was massive for you, that bottom of the 8th. If you had team total like we did, it was massive for you. Jackson Merrill leadoff triple coming in next at bat, sack fly. You had the run line, you're still sweating this out, but 2 outs to go. Luis Rengifo in to pinch hit for the Angels. We are at about 6.5 minutes left on the ice. Edmonton, 3. Your Vegas Golden Knights, 0. This has been as one-sided a game as we've seen this round. Wow. The Oilers, just pure domination on both ends. Goaltending's been a massive question mark for Edmonton, and they are currently working on a shutout. Adam Henrique. Wow, what a blast from the past that is for me. Former New Jersey Devil, off the crossbar and in past Lundqvist, making my middle school years fun. Adam Henrique has 2 goals in this one. Evander Kane has the other. How about that? No Draisaitl, no Nugent Hopkins, no McDavid, no Perry. Adam Henrique and Evander Kane with the 3 goals for Edmonton. Stuart Skinner, 19 shots. He's faced 19 saves for the Oilers goaltender. And this is a big game for Skinner right here. I mean, he's been dreadful this postseason. How about the Oilers are 6-0 with Pickard in net and 0-3 with Skinner in net. Skinner starts games 1 and 2 against the Kings, allows 11 of LA's 12 goals in those 2 losses. Then doesn't come back till game 3, allows all 4 in the loss at home to Vegas. And now pitching a shutout. This could be massive for his morale and his psyche moving forward. Edmonton on their way to a win and a 3-1 series lead. 6.5 minutes to go. Oilers lead at 3-0. Minnesota up 87-70. They are pouring it on in the Bay Area. More updates, more cashing out with Joe Ceraulo up next.
Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
All right, Cashing Out continues with me, Joe Ceraulo, on a Monday night. A little drama in San Diego. How about the Angels not going down without a fight? Quite literally, going down swinging, as baseball teams do. Zach Neto, leadoff hitter. Was injured to start the season. He's put together a nice little early going of his campaign. 2 for 4 on the night. He's up. He's the go-ahead run. Tying runs on base. Neto working with a 1-1 count as Suarez spikes one. The Angels plus 750 on the money line with the tying runs on. The run line with a guy on second and less than 2 outs. The run line plus 1.5 down 2. Is 2-1. That is interesting. That seems playable. 2-1 on the run line. Just get this guy from second in, top of the lineup up. I don't hate that one bit. 2-1 count now to Neto. Empty net situation in Edmonton. 3.5 to go. Knights with a 6th skater. Goaltender to the bench. They're going to throw everything they can at the Oilers here to try and avoid going down 3-1 when they return home to Vegas. It seems inevitable right now. Speaking of inevitable, Minnesota winning this game feels that way. They've gone from down 2 at the half to up 20. Final minute of third quarter play here. I don't know how that's not an offensive foul on Golden State, but the Warriors got a lay-in, 95-77. Minnesota, it's been all Wolves here in the third quarter, as they have outscored Golden State 37-17 in the third period of play. Neto walks, the bases are loaded. If you got Angels 2-1 on the run line, you've got to be feeling pretty good about yourself. It's now minus $2. That walk was worth $4. That's why we update the live betting the way we do here on Cashing Out. That was a $4 walk. when it was first and second with Nito up and one out, Angels down 5-3 plus 1.5 was 2-1. To be exact, it was actually a little better. It was plus 210. That walk by Nito, now it's minus 270. Now it's almost a $5 walk, a $4.80 walk. Nolan Shanuel, the first baseman, 0 for 4, hitting in the 2-hole. He's up, counts 2-0. Suarez can't find the strike zone for San Diego right now. Angels' money line was just plus 750. It is now plus 340. Money line, run line, they've both moved right around $4 after that one walk to Zach Nito. Let's see if the Angels have a little fight in them. Shanuel fouls one off. Nope, swung right through it. 2-1 count. Speaking of fight, the Knights, 2 minutes to go. Empty net. Let's see what they've got. Ant-Man, by the way, is a 30-piece. This third quarter has been all Edwards. Randall was the leading scorer earlier. He had 19 when Edwards had 8. Now Edwards has 30. Randall has 26. Another ball, 100 at the knees of Shanuel. He has to dance out of the way. It is a great little triple screen I've got going right here. I mean, there is no shortage of action. Shanuel dances out of the way. One more ball and Suarez is going to walk in the run line. Wow. He cannot find the zone. 23 pitches, 1 out. This has been a strenuous 9th inning for Suarez and the Padres. Let's see the 3-1 delivery. Ooh, I think, he fouled it off, huh? That was ball 4 if he didn't foul it off. Check swing, foul ball, full count here. Oilers trying to get the puck here. They're in the Knights zone. Net is empty. Vegas fighting for the puck. Who's going to control it? Knights clear it. Might be an icing. Nope, no, Oilers get the puck. All right, Edmonton with it on their side of the ice. Let's see if they can get the empty net or put this one to bed. Vegas gets the puck back. Shanuel just got walked. It's 5-4 Padres. 1 out, bases still loaded, top of the 9th. My goodness. You could have gotten that Angels run line plus 210 when they had first and second, 1 out. Back-to-back walks, a run is in. And now the Angels are down by 1. If you had the Padres run line, you must be sick. You must be sick to your stomach if you had San Diego run line. Wow. I'm glad we went team total. I was looking at the run line. Didn't want to do it. Got burned with Detroit Friday night. Laid 1.5 with them. Skubal tosses an absolute gem. They win 2-1. Where was the 14-run output from Detroit on Friday, huh? Is that what they had against the Sox? 14-2. The Detroit Tigers, 15-5 at home, 14-3 at home against anyone not named the Texas Rangers. They took it to the Sox. They decimated the Red Sox, 14-2. Tanner Houck, his second start this year, allowing 11 earned runs. Guy was an all-star last year. He's been a disaster this year. Send him to the Hall of Shame the way he's pitched this year. Tanner Houck. Houck has been a hack job this year for the Red Sox. Unbelievable. He drops to 0-3, ERA north of 8. And I wanted to play Detroit at about a pick'em. And I'm not complaining. 3-0 day on the diamond. The Wolves right now looking like they're going to close out. Oilers, 49 seconds left, will close out. We're about to have a 6-1 day. I'm not complaining I didn't play Detroit against Tanner Houck. But his last 2 starts, he'd been great. 13 2/3 innings, 2 or 3 earned. He looked like he was finally settling in. Nope. By the way, Suarez almost walked in the tying run. 3-0 pitch to Moncada. Got a generous call from the ump. And it looks like it might have gotten the box up and in, but that was a letter high inside corner strike, and that could have been ball 4. 3-1 count, bases are loaded. Tying run on third, and Moncada swings at ball 4. Fouled it off. Wow, that pitch was shoulder high. Angels would have tied it. Now it's a full count. Bases loaded. 1 out. Top of the 9th. The stuff you think about when you're in the backyard playing baseball with your friends. Wow. I'm more enthralled in this than I am the hockey game right now. Oh my God. Fouled off again. Shoulder high. Suarez has thrown him 5 balls. This at-bat, he's thrown 6 pitches. 5 out of the strike zone. Moncada has swung at and fouled off the last 2. My man, you don't have to play hero. Take ball 4 and the game is tied. Here's the 3-2. Do it again. And did he get him or was it fouled off? Wow. Catcher couldn't hold it. Would have been strike 3 if he held it. That one might have been a strike. Top of the zone. He's just going high heat. Mano a mano. Come and get it. 4 straight high fastballs from Suarez. In and out of the catcher's mitt. 10 seconds to go in Edmonton. Oilers, are they going to put it in? Thought they just had the puck. Not controlling it. 3, 2, 1. Cash it out. Oilers money line, ladies and gentlemen. 3-0. Stuart Skinner, his second career postseason shutout. He is 5-0 in Game 4s. Go figure that one. The guy was 0-3 this postseason. 5-0 in Game 4s. Edmonton is going to be coming right here to Las Vegas, up 3-1 over the Knights. Suarez walks Moncada. Angels, Padres are tied. 33 pitches, 1 out, 2 runs in, bases loaded. Suarez's night is done in San Diego. Wow. We've got great action on. Minnesota's up 20, fourth quarter underway there. We'll fill you in momentarily. Jorge Soler due up. He had a walk-off bases loaded double last week for the Angels. No walk-off scenario here. They're the road team, but all of a sudden the Angels, live betting folks, the Angels, when they had first and second and 1 out in this inning, were plus 750. They are now minus 180. You want to talk about CLV? That's over $9 of CLV. It's almost a dime of CLV right there. From plus 750 to minus 180 in the same half inning. I'm kicking myself for not putting a sprinkle on this. The run line, they were plus 1.5 at 2-1. Now they're minus 1.5 at 2-1. You can't make it up. How about the Yankees? Seattle crept back in, made it go from 8-2 to 8-5. Yankees answer top of the ninth immediately. 3 spot, 11-5. How did that happen? Was it Mr. Judge again? Sack fly for Judge. Anthony Volpe, 2-run homer. Yeah, it was 8-2 Yanks at the 7th inning stretch. Mariners got 1 in the bottom of the 7th. Cal Raleigh, big dumper. 2-run bomb, 420 straightaway center, made it 8-5. Volpe answers with a 2-run homer of his own and a Judge sack fly. How's Judge been tonight? Only 2 for 3 with 2 walks. Folks, Aaron Judge's on-base percentage is .500. His average is .414. He's a freak. Aaron Judge is like watching Barry Bonds on a day-to-day basis. And he won't have the gaudy career numbers that Barry Bonds put up because I believe his career started just too late to get those numbers going. But Aaron Judge is putting up video game numbers. Eric Hosmer had a great tweet earlier in the day. Said we haven't seen these numbers since John Dowd. Remember John Dowd? He was the fake baseball player that was Barry Bonds in MVP baseball growing up because Bonds wouldn't license his name, likeness, and image to the video game. More Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo up next.
Welcome back to Cashing Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Scary stuff from Seattle. Oswaldo Cabrera scoring on Aaron Judge's sac fly and working around the Mariners catcher to avoid the tag. Does so successfully. I don't want to speculate, but it looked like it was at the expense of potentially a broken ankle. Ambulance on the field. He's being stretchered off. You saw him punching the ground, laying face first after he scored. Successfully, safely touched home plate with his left hand. But based on the replay, I'm looking on Twitter, it looks like Oswaldo Cabrera broke his ankle. I'd have to imagine that's the season right there. That's heartbreaking. Young, promising ball player, having a good start to the year. Sparking the bottom of this Yankees lineup. And that is just, I'm looking at this replay. That ankle bent some. Oh, yeah, that's not fun. That's awful. Ambulance taking him off the field right now. Not too common you see an ambulance actually drive on to a Major League Baseball field. Scary scenes. 11-5 Yankees. Down in Petco Park, Tyler Ward came up with the bases loaded in a tied game 5-5 and hit a grand slam. The LA Angels putting up a 6 spot in the top of the 9th. And Taylor Ward hitting just a $180 on the year, hits his 9th home run, makes it 9-5 Angels. Probables for Tuesday, Jose Soriano. Been inconsistent. Sometimes he looks great, other times he gets shelled. Speaking of inconsistent, he's opposite Dylan Cease, who was dominant at Yankee Stadium his last time out, but has a 4.9 ERA on the young season. So the Padres, potentially, after their 21-0 drubbing of the Colorado Rockies on Saturday, potentially going to drop back-to-back games to Colorado and the Angels. This one would be even worse because it would be a blown 5-3 ninth inning lead. Could have gotten the Angels plus 750 live on the money line. Or if you wanted to be conservative, when they were down 5-3, first and second, 1 out, you could have gotten them on the run line plus 1.5 at 2-1. 2-1 run line plus 750 money line when they had first and second, 1 out, down 2. Go ahead, run at the dish. The prices were insane. And here they are, 9-5 leading. Kenley Jansen in, 8-9-1. Jake Cronenworth leading off the bottom of the 9th for San Diego. Minnesota no longer up by 20, but they are up by 16, inside 9 minutes to go. Don't want to celebrate that one prematurely, but it does feel good. I'll tell you what you can celebrate prematurely. If you took the over, 199.5, they're at 186 with 9 minutes to go. You can start thinking about cashing that one. I can't see a world, I can't fathom a world as Golden State gets to the line here, Minnesota gets to the line, good for me, where the under plays. 9 minutes to go. Gobert hits the first, 102.87. You're 13 points away from an over cashing right now. Wow. What a night it's been in sports. Oilers 3, Knights 0, your final. Stuart Skinner 0-3 this postseason. Skinner had started and played all 3 of Edmonton's losses this entire postseason thus far. Pitches a shutout. He's now 5-0 in game 4s in his postseason career. Crazy. Gobert hits them both. 18-point lead. He's got 6 points, 5 boards. Light night of work for him. Ant-Man, anything but a light night of work. Anthony Edwards with a 30-piece. He's got 30 points. However, only 3 rebounds. If you went over 34.5 points and boards, you still need another Ant-Man bucket. And the question now becomes, will he get the opportunity up 18 with 8 minutes to go? Will Ant-Man keep shooting? Will he keep playing? Or, with an 18-point lead, as this clock keeps ticking, will he get yanked for the rest of the night? If you had that over 34.5 points and rebounds, you're probably sweating a little bit here. Keep an eye out for number 5 on your screen, because I imagine Minnesota is going to be emptying the bench sooner rather than later with nearly a 20-point lead in the final 8 minutes of work. Got Gobert tumbling to the floor, no foul called, cross-court pass, DiVincenzo, 3, up, no good. Don't even think it hit the rim, looks like a shot clock violation there. Warriors with the ball, down 18, on the verge of going down 3-1, and we are on the verge of yet another home team losing here in the second round. I mean, what are home teams in the second round? They're going to be 1-3 in this series, right? I believe they're 1-3 Knicks Celtics. So that's 2-6. They're 1-3 Pacers Cavs. So that's what, 3-9. And then Thunder Nuggets, they're 2-2. So 5-11 home teams in the second round of the NBA playoffs. Absolutely crazy. Road Warriors. Oh, Ant-Man. Oh, it rims out. Rattled out. That would have put him over 32 points. That would have got him over your combo if you had it. I didn't even have this. We were talking about it yesterday on the program. Did moron or moron, and Jared Moore threw that out there, and I actually liked it. I didn't play it, but I said he was on to something. And Ant-Man is 2 points away from going over. I want him to get it in case that segment made any of you venture into tailing it. Padres 1 out, bottom of the ninth. 2 outs away from their night being over. We've moved to the bottom of the ninth at T-Mobile in Seattle, 11-5. Ian Hamilton on the bump for the Yanks. Devin Williams came in quickly in the bottom of the eighth. Yankees, no need to send him back out there as they put up that 3 spot in the top of the ninth. Strike 3, 93-mile-per-hour cutter, plenty of plate. Wade swung right through it. Tatis will be up. He'll be the last out for the Padres, or the last hope, I should say, for the Padres, down 9-5. Wow, what a night this has been. Wolves, 105-87 at Commercial, laying 16 and a hook live. Just inside 7 minutes to go. You gotta hope, they're at commercial break, you gotta hope that they are not pulling Anthony Edwards for the remainder of the night here at this commercial break. 2 more points if you had the combo, because he's done with Ant-Man, when he scores 30, not a lot of rebounding to be done. And I was saying this about him yesterday. And I think it's a sign of maturity and something he deserves a lot of credit for. When the shots aren't falling, that's when he shines in all of the other areas and aspects of the game. Rebounding, defense, distributing. But when the shots are falling, make no mistake about it, he's a shooter. 6 of 11 from beyond the arc in this one. How about it? Minnesota as a team, 50% from deep, 16 of 32, after they had that ridiculously bad, historically bad, actually, no hyperbole there, 15.7% stretch. Game 5 at the Lakers, Game 1 against Golden State. Percentage-wise, worst 2-game stretch beyond the arc, NBA history. Boston, volume-wise, most misses from beyond the arc, 2-game stretch, NBA history, with 75 of them, games 1 and 2, at the Garden, as I call it, because it ain't the Garden. There's one Garden, and it's Madison Square Garden. That's the Garden. They can have the weird way of saying it. How about it? The Knicks have a chance to close them out. Game 5 at TD Garden. Would that not be something? I'm loving this New York Knicks team. I thought it would be Celtics in 5. Now we're sitting here, realistically speaking, about the Knicks in 5. And I will admit, if Jason Tatum was fully healthy, probably wouldn't be thinking Knicks in 5, although they did win 2 games at TD against a fully healthy Jason Tatum. But with that injury, I don't know. The books disagree. Celtics are laying 5, 4.5, 5 on the early line. Maybe they're thinking something comes out of Boston. They do it for Tatum. I don't know. You lose your best player, your MVP caliber player, 42 points. Him and Derek White, the only guys who showed up Game 4. I struggle to see the Celtics having any positive morale, even going home for Game 5. Potentially no Tatum. Kristaps far from 100%. The Celtics team is thinning out, and they're thinning out fast. Folks, do you want to know where the money's really going? Unlike other sources, our betting splits here at VSiN come straight from Circa and DraftKings, giving you insight into where the sharp action's landing. Circa's known, of course, for taking big bets from the pros, while DraftKings provides more of a broad market perspective. That means you're getting the real action, not just public money, but the kinds of wagers that move the lines. See the percentage of bets versus the handle, every game, every major sport, helping you make smarter, more informed bets. Get VSiN's exclusive betting splits for as little as $9.99 your first month, only at VSiN.com/subscribe. The Wolves lead Golden State by 20, 6.5 minutes to go. The Yankees and Mariners have Seattle down to their final out, and then the night's action will be done. So let's talk Tuesday MLB with Greg Peterson up next, cashing out with Joe Ceraulo.
Welcome back to Cashing Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with me, Joe Ceraulo. It's been a loaded Monday night of action. Great playoff games, Knicks, Celtics, Oilers, Knights, you name it. The action's been never ending. Some crazy finishes to West Coast baseball. Out here, Angels erasing a 2-run deficit, winning by 4, thanks to a 6-run ninth inning and a Taylor Ward grand slam at Petco. Who better to bring on to enhance your viewing experience tonight than our MLB expert, Greg Peterson, joining us now on the Progressive Guest Line. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, at @GUnit_81. Greg, it was a great Monday for us. I went 3-0 on the Diamond. Help our viewers make even more money on the Diamond Tuesday. Nationals, Braves, let's start right there. My guy Schwellenbach on the mound. What do you like?
Absolutely, and I do like your guy in this one. I like the Atlanta Braves on the run line with Mike Ceraulo. He actually used to be an Atlanta Brave, so a little bit of a homecoming for him, but ever since he left the Atlanta Braves, not so great. Spent last year with the Chicago White Sox. It sort of went from being a starter to being a long reliever, and if you date it back to the beginning of the 2024 season, because for Soroka, it's a small sample size. He's only made 2 starts this far this season, so you want to be fair. 27 total appearances, a 5.02 ERA, and an 0-12 record. That is not great, to say the least. And on the flip side for Spencer Schwellenbach, he's not necessarily like a strikeout artist, but he's pretty good at being able to get swings and misses, right around 8.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. Doesn't walk a ton of guys. And the Atlanta Braves would have covered the run line here on Monday had it not been for that error in the 9th inning. I think that they're going to be able to bounce back here. I've been liking what I've been seeing out of the Braves much more at home rather than on the road. So I'm going to be able to lay that run line. You should be able to get right around about even money or so on that.
Yeah, well, we're talking run lines. You've got a bone to pick with the Texas Rangers, huh? Don't get there on the run line. Game 1 against Colorado. I gave out Tyler Mahle under 1.5 earned. Got that plus 120. That got home. He went 6 1/3 innings of 1-run ball. But the Rangers bats not looking as good as they did at Detroit over the weekend. With that said, Kyle Freeland is on the bump Tuesday. Is this a get-right spot for the Rangers bats in your opinion?
I do think that it's a bit more of a get-right spot for them, though. I do like the under in this game as well, because I do think that Kyle Freeland, who's got north of a 5 ERA, that fielding dependence sub 3.5, he's not giving up a lot of walks, he's not giving up a lot of homers against a Rangers team that's currently in the bottom 4 in the big leagues in terms of runs per game. I think that he's going to be able to bounce back a little bit here, but that said, with this Colorado Rockies team, that was a good call for you on Tyler Mahle under his earned runs, because they are averaging 2.2 runs per game away from home. Like, I don't know how that's possible. We are about a month and a half into the season. They're averaging 2.2 runs per game away from home. Like, that just absolutely baffles the human mind, how a team can be so inept at the plate. And it went down after today's game. And for the Colorado Rockies, they are now 7-34 out of those 34 losses. All but 4 have come by multiple runs. And the first loss of the season was a 1-run loss. So if you look at it, they have now lost 30 out of their last 33 losses by multiple runs. So I'm going to be back in on that Rangers run line. I think that they're going to do just enough against Kyle Freeland, because flat out the Rockies can't hit right now.
And how about that? That's 30 of their last 40 games, factoring in the 7 wins as well. So in Colorado's last 40 games, if you faded them on the run line, you're hitting 75%. And that's why we're starting to see run lines like on Sunday against the Padres, albeit Colorado won the game outright. The Padres run line on that was 3.5. If you laid the 1.5 runs, you were paying $2.25. If you wanted to pay as close to even juice as possible, it was 3.5 runs. Do you expect this trend to continue, where if you fade the Rockies run line, you're going to have to lay more than 1.5? You're going to be looking at 2.5, 3.5 at times?
You're probably looking at a lot more 2.5s when they are on the road. At home, absolutely, because as we know, at Coors Field, things get very ugly out there, and especially when Antonio Senzatella starts. Like when Antonio Senzatella starts, that guy, my goodness, he is giving up like 15 to 16 hits per 9 innings. The fact that he is being run out there as a major league pitcher just shows how sad and pathetic the Colorado Rockies are right now. So yeah, I do expect that to be a trend moving forward. We've seen that a few times in baseball when you've had some of these teams with like the -$3, -$4 money line prices, and you're going to see a lot of those this year in Colorado Rocky games.
Would you go Rangers team total over 4.5 with Freeland on the bump? Although you said you like the under on the full game, so I guess that would be a little contradictory there. You're not looking at the Rangers bats here?
I would look a little bit more at the full game under rather than the Rangers bats, just because they have been a bottom 5 offense in terms of runs per game. I just want to be fading the Colorado Rockies a little bit more. I would rather take a Rockies team total under before I'd be taking the Rangers over.
Yeah, and that Rockies team total coming in 2.5. It went under. It was plus money. That's originally...
Hey, that's more than the average amount of runs per game they're scoring this year.
That's bizarre. When I gave out Tyler Mahle, my first look was I wanted to go Rockies team total under 3.5. When I saw 2.5, I just couldn't do it, so I pivoted to the earned runs for the starter. Both would have gotten home. Both were plus money. It doesn't matter. We won either way. How about the Red Sox? Tanner Houck has now had 2 starts, allowing 11 earned runs in the early goings of the season. He might be down worse than Senzatala out there in Colorado. Would you take the Sox to bounce back? It's going to be a bullpen game for Detroit Tuesday. Brian Bayo, he's looked good in a small sample size this year. Could you go Boston as a slight road favorite, or are you staying away from them?
I'm going to be looking at the Tigers personally. I believe that the Tigers should be a slight favorite because a bullpen game for the Tigers is actually pretty darn good. Because with the Detroit Tigers, ever since the All-Star break in 2024, they do own the best bullpen ERA in the big leagues. And you've got a lot of guys who are able to pitch multiple innings. Now, it does look like we're probably going to get Kadir Montero as a bit of a bulk guy because he was originally slated as a starter, and now they've got Tyler Holton listed on the board. And typically, Tyler Holton does serve as that opener that gives you 1-2 innings. They've done a little bit of this bullpen madness stuff in the past, and typically Kadir Montero has been a little bit better coming out of the bullpen. And for Brian Bayo, even though the ERA is low, he's posting up a sub-2.5 ERA. His fielding independence is more than double that. He is getting about 5 strikeouts, 4.5 walks per 9 innings. He's had a few Houdini magic tricks to be able to get out of these innings. And the Detroit Tigers, very silently, averaging north of 5 runs per game. This offense behind the likes of Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter, all these guys are firing on all cylinders, and Javi Baez has been one of the most improved players in all of baseball this year as well. So I do like the Tigers on the money line here, and with regards to this total, right now we're seeing that at 8.5. I would go over because I do want to be fading Bayo and that negative regression that I'm expecting.
Greg, Brandon Pfaadt has been lights out for Arizona, and I absolutely love this kid. Every now and then he's going to get shelled. He's had 2 starts this year where he did, but last time out, 6 1/3 scoreless against the Dodgers in a win on Thursday. He's already got, what are we looking at, 5 quality starts in the early goings of the season. He eats innings. He's reliable. He's opposite Robbie Ray, who is suddenly 5-0 with a 2.8. Are we looking under 7.5 at the Bay Area? What do we think, Arizona, San Francisco?
I am actually going to be looking at the over because both of these pitchers have fielding independence that are significantly higher than their ERAs. For Brandon Pfaadt, hasn't necessarily been a strikeout artist, so what I love about him is that he doesn't put guys on cheaply. That allows him to be able to keep his pitch count down. That allows him to go deep into games in general. But that 421 fielding independent and giving up 1.4 home runs per 9 innings is a bit of a concern. And for Robbie Ray, you never know where the ball is going to be going. He's gotten off to a nice start this season, but I think that there are times where Robbie Ray doesn't know where the ball is going to be going. Giving up 4.5 walks per 9 innings, has been very lucky to be able to get out of the jams that he has thus far this season. And as we know with the Arizona Diamondbacks, they're one of the more lethal offenses that you're going to find in all baseball. Corbin Carroll going deep twice here on Monday. And then on the flip side for the San Francisco Giants, they do have the upper hand in terms of bullpen. So I did set the Giants as a slight favorite. I do like them on the money line, but I do think that both of these starters are going to see some regression. I like the over.
All right. How about the Yankees-Mariners game? Another low total, 7.5. Max Fried, he looks like a legitimate Cy Young candidate. He's their ace in a season without Garrett Cole, 6-0. ERA is 1.05. Opposite Brian Wu, who is always sensational at home. What do we like here?
With regards to this one, I'm going to take the Yankees on the money line. It's a little bit chalkier at -135, -140, but for Max Fried, is he going to continue a 105 ERA? No, but at the same time, I think that what he's done is very sustainable, and I feel like the hate went just way too far on that guy towards back half of the season last year. Yeah, he had a few rough starts towards back half of 2024, but guy's reliable. He gives you about 8-9 strikeouts per 9 innings, doesn't walk a lot of guys, keeps the ball in the yard, and with regards to the Yankees bullpen, it has been a little bit shaky, but with the way that they were able to blow out the Seattle Mariners tonight, they didn't have to utilize a lot of those trustworthy pieces, so you get 6 solid innings out of Max Fried, you get Luke Weaver, those guys in there towards back half of the game. I do foresee it being a little bit lower scoring, though 7 is just a little bit too low for me to take with the way that the Mariners and the Yankees are hitting, so I would be looking over, but I do like the Yankees on the money line.
Greg, we only have about 25 seconds. 2 lefties in Houston. Bubic has been great for the Royals. Valdez, not so much for the Astros. Are we looking KC plus $1.30?
I'm actually going to look at the Houston Astros because I do like their bullpen. Brian Abreu, along with what you've been able to get out of Josh Hader, has been rock solid. And Framber Valdez, always pretty rock solid at home. I am going to be going with the Astros on the money line.
All right, Greg Peterson. Great stuff, my man. Always a blast. Thanks so much for hopping on, brother.
Joe, always appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much.
VSiN MLB expert Greg Peterson. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at gunit_81. Going over some winners on the Diamond Tuesday. Minnesota, gonna put this one to bed momentarily. It's a new hour of Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo on the other side.